darkness of the African night. A sound echoes, a sharp, broken, unsettling laugh. For centuries, it has been linked to fear, to witchcraft, to death. A creature accused of grave robbing, of serving sorcerers, of embodying treachery and filth in the human imagination. But what if we have been wrong? What if the sound we call laughter is in fact a complex language? What if this animal is not cowardly, not demonic, but one of the most successful predators in one of the most structured societies in the wild? This is the story of the hyena, an animal standing between myth and science, and perhaps far less monstrous than misunderstood. Hyenas first emerged around 22 million years ago in the forests of Eurasia during the Miocene epoch, a time when most early falliform carnivores were still largely tree-dwelling. Their earliest ancestors likely resembled the modern African civet, slender, agile, adapted to life within dense woodland. Among the oldest described species was Pleovivirops, a narrow-bodied animal, civet-like in appearance, living across Eurasia between 20 and 22 million years ago. The structure of its middle ear and the configuration of its teeth reveal its place within the early hyena lineage. But this was only the beginning. The Pleovivirops lineage expanded. Descendants evolved with longer legs and sharper jaws, an evolutionary pathway remarkably similar to that of canids in North America. Over time, hyenas diversified into two distinct forms: the lightly built, dog-like hyenas and the powerful, bone-crushing hyenas. The dog-like branch flourished around 15 million years ago. One lineage even reached North America. Yet, climatic shifts and the arrival of true canids into Eurasia drove most of them to extinction. From that once successful branch, only one survivor remains, the insect-eating aardwolf. Meanwhile, the bone-crushing hyenas, including the spotted brown and striped hyenas of today, rose to become the dominant scavengers across Eurasia and Africa, survivors of an evolutionary journey forged across millions of years of planetary change. Spotted hyenas are deeply social animals. They live in large groups known as clans, complex societies that can number up to 80 individuals. Clan size varies with geography. In the Serengeti, where prey herds migrate, clans tend to be smaller. But within the Ngorongoro crater, where prey remains resident, clans grow larger. These societies are more cohesive than wolf packs, yet not as tightly bonded as the hunting units of African wild dogs. At the apex of this structure stand the females. In almost all cases, females dominate males. Even low-ranking females may outrank high-ranking males. At times, a male may share authority with a female, and in rare instances, a clan may be led by a male. Hierarchy begins at birth. Each cub inherits a rank directly below that of its mother. Thus, when a matriarch dies, or in rare cases, leaves the clan, her youngest daughter assumes her position. Females typically remain within their natal clan. As a result, large clans often contain multiple maternal lineages. Males, however, disperse around 2.5 years of age. When a male attains leadership, it is usually because he is the son of the matriarch, ranked immediately beneath her. In the world of spotted hyenas, power is inherited, and social order is maintained with remarkable precision across generations. Mating in hyenas differs markedly from that of most canids. Rather than a single prolonged copulation, it consists of several brief matings separated by short intervals. In spotted hyenas, males approach estrus females with submissive behavior, even when they are physically larger. Choice rests with the female. Females typically prefer younger males, those born after them, or males that join the clan later. Older females show a similar preference, often selecting males with whom they have formed long-standing, friendly bonds. In this society, passive males tend to be more successful than aggressive ones. Copulation itself is relatively brief, lasting between 4 and 12 minutes. It usually occurs at night and away from the attention of other clan members. Gestation averages around 110 days. But what makes this period remarkable is what occurs within the womb. In late pregnancy, high-ranking females transfer elevated levels of androgens to their developing fetuses. These hormones influence both behavior and physical development. As a result, daughters of dominant females are typically more aggressive, more assertive, and establish higher social rank at an earlier age. High-ranking male cubs also begin exhibiting mounting behavior sooner than their lower-ranking peers. The average litter consists of 2 cubs, occasionally 3. Males play no role in parental care. Yet the most extraordinary aspect is birth itself. Female spotted hyenas give birth through a narrow, elongated clitoris, a complex and often dangerous process. Spotted hyena cubs are proportionally the largest newborns among carnivores relative to their mother's body size. During parturition, the clitoral tissue tears to allow passage of the cubs. Healing may take several weeks. In the world of spotted hyenas, reproduction is both a mark of dominance and a profound biological cost. Lactating females can store between 3 and 4 kilograms of milk within their mammary glands. Rich, energy-dense. Among all terrestrial carnivores, the milk of the spotted hyena contains the highest levels of protein and fat. Cubs nurse for 12 to 16 months, though by 3 months of age, they are capable of digesting solid food. Unlike many other carnivores, mothers do not regurgitate food for their young, and they are fiercely protective. No other adult, particularly males, is permitted to approach the cubs. Yet what is most remarkable is the cubs' early behavioral maturity. Before reaching 1 month of age, they have been observed engaging in ritualized scent investigation and even marking their surroundings. Within just 10 days of birth, they move with surprising speed. By 2 to 3 months, they shed their dark neonatal coat, revealing the lighter, spotted pattern of adulthood. At around 8 months, they begin displaying hunting behaviors, and by 1 year of age, they fully participate in cooperative hunts. Sexual maturity is reached at 3 years. In captivity, their average lifespan is approximately 12 years, though some individuals may live up to 25. In the world of the spotted hyena, childhood is brief, and the path to power begins from the very first days of life. With the exception of the aardwolf, all hyena species are both scavengers and predators. Relative to their body size, their jaws are extraordinarily powerful. The bite force is strong enough to crush bone, and their digestive system leaves nothing unused. Highly acidic fluids enable them to consume almost every part of their prey: skin, teeth, horns, bones, even hooves. In the wild, little goes to waste. The striped hyena is primarily a scavenger. yet it will readily kill any animal it can overpower. Its diet is occasionally supplemented with fruit. The spotted hyena, however, is a different story. Though it scavenges at times, it is fundamentally an active, cooperative hunter, targeting medium to large ungulates. The hunt begins, not with explosive speed, but with endurance. They pursue their prey over long distances, exhausting it. And then, in a manner reminiscent of canids, they tear it down. Estimates suggest that spotted hyenas may hunt up to 95% of the animals they consume. Not mere thieves, not simply opportunists, but relentless predators, armed with patience and bone-crushing jaws. The aardwolf is the exception among hyenas. It does not crush bones, nor does it pursue large prey. Its specialization lies elsewhere. Insectivory, primarily feeding on termites of the genera Trinervitermes and Hodotermes. With a long, broad tongue, it laps them from the soil's surface. In a single foraging excursion, an aardwolf may consume up to 300,000 termites. The other hyenas, however, despite their reputation in popular culture as cowardly scavengers, tell a different story. They have been documented reclaiming their kills from larger predators, including lions. Bold, coordinated, unflinching. Hyenas are primarily nocturnal, though at times they emerge in the early hours of morning. Aside from the highly social spotted hyena, other species are less tightly organized. Striped and brown hyenas may live in family groups and gather at carcasses. Yet perhaps the most remarkable trait belongs to the spotted hyena. They are among the very few mammals, outside of bats, known to survive infection with rabies virus. During outbreaks among sympatric carnivores, spotted hyenas have shown minimal mortality. Part of this resistance is believed to stem from high concentrations of antibodies in their saliva. Even so, little is known about the immune system of the spotted hyena, and even less about the other members of the hyena family. In the world of hyenas, there is specialization, there is boldness, and there remain mysteries yet to be understood. Hyenas stand at the boundary between two worlds. In some behaviors, they resemble felids. In others, they act much like canids. In body structure, in skeletal form, and even in dental anatomy, they share both similarities and distinctions with each group and with one another, an identity uniquely their own, yet bearing traces of both lineages. For territorial marking, hyenas rely on secretions from their anal glands, chemical signals that communicate presence and ownership. Striped and brown hyenas, when threatened by predators such as lions or wild dogs, may feign death, stillness, silence, waiting. The spotted hyena, however, chooses confrontation. It stands its ground and often does not retreat. Vocal communication also varies markedly. Spotted hyenas are highly vocal, producing a wide repertoire of sounds, from their infamous laughter to growls and whoops. Striped hyenas, by contrast, are generally quiet, with a far more limited vocal range. In grooming behavior, hyenas resemble cats more than dogs. They regularly clean themselves, and when licking their genital area, they adopt a distinctly feline posture, sitting on the haunches, hind legs apart, one leg raised vertically. Like other carnivores, they defecate in the usual manner, but when urinating, they do not raise a leg. Urine serves no territorial function for them. Instead, they mark boundaries using their anal glands, a trait shared with civets and mustelids, but absent in canids and felids. Hyenas are neither fully cat nor fully dog. They are a lineage apart, a distinct evolutionary path forged on its own terms. Spotted hyenas possess a complex repertoire of body postures for communication. When afraid, the ears are pressed flat against the head, often accompanied by bared teeth and a flattened mane. If attacked by other hyenas or wild dogs, they lower their hindquarters, a posture signaling defensive readiness. But before an attack, or during a decisive act of aggression, everything shifts. The head is held high, the ears erect, the mouth closed, the mane bristling, and the hindquarters raised. In a neutral state, the tail hangs downward, relaxed, unthreatened. If the urge to flee increases, the tail tucks beneath the abdomen. During excitement or attack, it is carried high over the back, curving forward. Yet a raised tail is not always a sign of hostility. It may also appear during harmless social interactions. Spotted hyenas do not wag their tails like dogs. However, when approaching dominant individuals or showing slight submission, they may produce brief, subtle tail flicks. Lower-ranking individuals, when nearing a dominant member, walk on the knees of their forelegs as a gesture of submission. Greeting ceremonies within the clan are distinctive. Two individuals stand parallel, facing opposite directions. Both lift their hind legs and lick each other's anogenital region. During this ritual, the penis, or pseudo-penis in females, often becomes erect in both sexes. This erection, however, is not a display of dominance. It is typically a signal of submission and is observed more frequently in males than in females. In the world of the spotted hyena, every movement, every posture carries meaning, a silent language, clearer than any sound. Hyenas hold a powerful place in the myths and folklore of the peoples who have lived beside them. Yet that place is often shaped by fear. In many cultures, they are portrayed as sinister creatures, worthy of hatred and suspicion. Some traditions claim that hyenas influence human spirits, that they dig up graves, that they steal livestock, and even children. Elsewhere, they have been associated with witchcraft. Their body parts used in traditional medicine, the hyena's laughter, along with the cry of the jackal, long remained a haunting mystery. In literature, a symbol of magic and sometimes of the devil himself. Hungry hyenas, guided by their powerful sense of smell, were known to exhume freshly buried corpses. And in response, communities would light fires for nights on end beside new graves. But science tells a different story. Through behavioral studies and acoustic analysis, the enigma of the hyena's laughter has begun to unravel. These laugh-like calls convey information about age, social rank, and individual status within the clan. Hyenas produce up to 10 distinct vocalizations. A deep, full-throated cry may signal separation between two clan members. A low moan or growl can indicate that an ally is approaching. What was once interpreted as witchcraft is, in reality, a sophisticated language of social communication. The hyena stands between myth and reality, a creature less terrifying than misunderstood. image of the spotted hyena. In myth and folklore, varies according to the people from whom the stories emerge. In many cases, particularly in West Africa, it is difficult to determine which species is being referenced. Spotted and striped hyenas are often known by the same names. In certain West African narratives, the spotted hyena is portrayed as a bad Muslim, an outsider figure challenging the local animist beliefs of the Beng people in Côte d'Ivoire. Yet in East Africa, a very different story is told. In Tabwa mythology, the spotted hyena is a solar creature, the animal that first brought the sun to warm a once cold earth. Conversely, in many West African folktales, the hyena symbolizes immorality, unclean habits, the inversion of social norms, and other negative traits. In Tanzania, there exists a belief that witches ride spotted hyenas as mounts. In the Mtwara region, it is said that a child born at night, while a hyena howls, is destined to become a thief. In that same region, another belief persists, that hyena dung can help a child learn to walk sooner. And for this reason, it is not uncommon to see children wrapped in garments containing hyena droppings. The hyena, in the human imagination, may be a solar hero, a symbol of darkness, or a vessel for explaining the unknown. Throughout this journey, we have seen the hyena, not as legend described it, nor as fear imagined it. Behind the uneasy laughter, there is a complex language. Behind the powerful jaws, a vital role in nature's balance. We have witnessed a society structured, organized, governed by unwritten laws that have endured for millions of years. The hyena is not merely a scavenger, not merely a predator, not a monster of the night. It is nature's recycler, a regulator of ecosystems, a survivor shaped by deep time. Perhaps the problem was never the hyena. Perhaps it was our perception. In a world where we often label what we do not understand as evil, the hyena reminds us, nature is neither good nor cruel. It is precise and relentlessly honest. And if there is one lesson to carry forward, it is this: survival does not belong to the strongest. It belongs to the adaptable. And the hyena is a master of adaptation.